The core message is simple. Learning to love yourself is the key to transforming your life. According to Louise Hay's philosophy, self-love is the answer to every problem we face. She teaches that we are fully responsible for everything that happens in our lives because our experiences are shaped by our thoughts and emotions. Every thought and every word carries power, and whatever we send out eventually returns to us in the form of life events. Our patterns of thinking and emotional responses are formed very early, around the ages of 3 to 5. At that time, we adopt the behaviors and beliefs of the adults around us, and later we continue reacting to life from that same childlike perspective. Many of the beliefs that helped us survive childhood become unhelpful or limiting in adulthood. We often respond to adult situations with the emotional mindset of a small child. As children, we learned from our parents, but blaming them is pointless. No one can teach what they themselves do not know. If your mother didn't know how to love herself, she couldn't teach you self-love. If your father lacked self-acceptance, he couldn't show you how to develop it. If you grew up in a fearful or angry household, you likely absorbed those emotions as well. It's neither good nor bad, it simply is. No matter what your problem is, how long it has existed, or whether it comes from you or your family history, the path forward is learning to love yourself. When we truly accept and appreciate ourselves in the present moment, life begins to flow more smoothly. Opportunities appear effortlessly, obstacles dissolve, and everyday situations become easier. When we lack self-love, we create resistance and block the good that could come to us. Self-love is not vanity or arrogance. Those come from fear. True self-acceptance is something entirely different. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating it is mirror work. Looking into your own eyes and speaking to yourself with kindness can initiate deep healing. Each morning, Louise suggests standing in front of a mirror and saying, "I love you. What can I do today to make you happy?" If no answer comes, it simply means that part of you is still learning to trust the process. With repetition, connection begins to form. Practicing this twice a day for a month can create profound emotional shifts. If it feels difficult to look into your own eyes and say, "I love you," notice that resistance and gently explore where it comes from. Children naturally adore themselves. They are open, expressive, and unashamed. Over time, however, we absorb societal expectations, media messages, and external judgments, losing touch with our innate innocence and self-acceptance. We forget that we are unique expressions of life. Just as no two snowflakes are alike, no two people are meant to be the same. Trying to fit into someone else's standards only disconnects us from our true nature. When we embrace our uniqueness and the uniqueness of others, comparison and competition fall away. Affirmations are another powerful tool. Every thought is an affirmation, whether positive or negative. Saying, "I don't want this job," or "I don't want this relationship," only reinforces what you don't want. Instead, affirm what you desire. "I have a wonderful new job. I am attracting a loving relationship." Affirmations are seeds planted in the mind. They need time, repetition, and trust to grow. Even if results aren't immediate, the process is working. Many people give up too soon, thinking nothing is happening. But change unfolds in its own perfect timing. The key is consistency. Choose what you want, state it in the present tense, and repeat it daily. Never say, "I will have." That keeps your desire in the future. Say, "I have," even if your current reality looks different. This isn't lying, it's planting the seed of a new experience. Continue affirming regardless of your circumstances. If you dislike your current home or relationship, release it with love and blessing. Letting go with kindness opens the door to something better. Give the unwanted job to someone who will be happy to have it, or pass your apartment to a person who will truly appreciate it. If it concerns a relationship, release the person with love, knowing that this is a blessing for both of you. You may be familiar with my blue book about working with the body, where I explain in detail how to release past resentments and mental patterns stored in every cell. When you understand your mental patterns, you can begin to change them and heal. We do not want to be ill, but sometimes illness becomes a convenient escape from difficult situations. Some people do not know how to say no, so they create illness as a way to refuse something. It becomes a legitimate way to withdraw from complicated circumstances. In general, we do not want to be sick, but sometimes we need illness because the body is signaling false beliefs held in the mind. When we know our beliefs, we have a choice to work with them or not. Some people do not want to let go of their illness. I recently learned that only about 30% of people who visit doctors actually follow their recommendations. Many go not for healing, but simply to relieve symptoms. There is an unspoken agreement between doctor and patient. The doctor promises not to truly heal if the patient pretends to follow instructions. I have met people who were told by someone, "Go see her, you need this." Such people often do not return because they are not yet ready to work on themselves. Every person comes to this planet to learn their own lessons. We are here to change ourselves. We cannot help others if they are not ready to learn. We can show the path, but they must walk it themselves. Now let's talk about illness. I want to go through different parts of the body and show which beliefs may create certain conditions. The head symbolizes how we see ourselves and others. If you have a headache, ask yourself, what am I blaming myself for? What have I done that I cannot forgive? Forgive yourself and allow the energy of acceptance to flow through you. Even if you made a mistake, take it as a lesson and do not punish yourself. When you punish yourself, you learn nothing. The ears represent our ability to hear the truth. If you have ear problems, it may mean you do not like what you are hearing. Young children often have earaches because they hear a lot of negativity and cannot cope with it. Parents sometimes forbid children to express anger, so the children cannot release it, and the tension goes into the ears. Any burn, fever, bruise, or injury is an expression of anger directed at oneself. A bruise is anger turned inward. Hair symbolizes our nervousness and tension. When we are anxious, the tension spreads to the shoulders, back, and head. When the scalp is tight, the hair cannot breathe and begins to fall out. If the scalp remains tense, new hair cannot grow, and a person may become bald. I ask you to relax your scalp. Check. Has it shifted? If so, it means you usually hold it in tension. Practice this exercise. Relax your scalp 10 times a day. It will help release tension and calm the mind. The eyes represent our ability to see. If you have eye problems, it may mean you are afraid of something or do not want to see something in your life. Astigmatism indicates an attempt to perceive life in two conflicting ways, without finding a clear direction. People do not start wearing glasses simply because of age. It happens because throughout life they refuse to look at what they did not want to see. The jaw and teeth reflect our ability to think, form ideas, analyze decisions, and determine preferences, including in food. Dental problems often arise from long periods of indecision. The throat is the channel of self-expression. I am, I want, I have, I will. Our creative energy flows through the throat, and this is where change begins. A lack of energy for self-expression leads to throat problems. Laryngitis, for example, is anger that prevents us from speaking. The thyroid reflects our relationship with creativity and self-expression. People with thyroid issues often do what others want, not what they themselves desire. The back symbolizes carrying other people's responsibilities. We take on others' problems without expressing our own responsibility. Life experience is not a heavy burden. It is a natural process. People are born, grow, communicate, fall in love, get jobs, have children, and die. This is normal, and we go through it for spiritual and personal growth. The arms and hands hold and embrace ideas, situations, and experiences. Problems with the arms indicate that you are struggling or overwhelmed. The lower arms relate to your abilities. The upper arms relate to your opportunities. When someone cares for a sick person for a long time, the upper arms may become strained, reflecting overload from caregiving. Hands can hold with love or grip with tension. The palms reflect difficulties in current experiences, and problems with the fingers symbolize challenges in the small details of life. The back represents the support of life. Problems with it indicate a sense of losing support on some level. The upper back is connected to a lack of emotional support. Thoughts like, my wife, my husband, my boss doesn't support me, often manifest in this area. The middle back symbolizes guilt that gets stuck in the body. The lower back is associated with finances. Lower back problems often arise from anxiety, fear, and tension related to money. This fear has nothing to do with the actual amount of money a person has. It reflects their inner emotional state. Many people believe that money is the most important thing in life, that without it they will not survive. But in reality, there are things far more essential and precious, things without which life is impossible. These are love and breath. Air is the most valuable resource. Without it, a person cannot live even 3 minutes. We take this for granted, yet we rarely worry about whether we will have enough air tomorrow. The same power that created us has provided enough air for our entire lifetime. So why can't we trust it in everything else? The universe exists to support us. God gave us an entire planet because we are His beloved children. Everything we need is already here. There is more food than people can eat. There is money, even though many lack it. There are countless people, yet loneliness comes not from the number of people around us, but from our thoughts. Everything on this planet was created for us. For every illness, there is a healing plant. The universe cares for us, and the more we accept our true nature, the more we receive what we genuinely need. Sometimes it arrives in the most unexpected ways. To choose life, we must breathe deeply, inhaling life itself. When we fill the body with breath, we support the work of our cells and our mind. Traditionally, women of previous generations breathed shallowly because they believed the stories that they were not good enough, that they were second-class citizens of the earth. They began to think they had no right to take up space, barely any right to exist, and that they deserved only a tiny portion of air. But now everything is changing, and that is wonderful. Only recently have women begun to fill gyms and engage in physical activity on a large scale. And how beautiful they look when they exercise. They are radiant, powerful, breathing life deeply, taking their rightful place in the world. It is a joy to witness. When people struggle with lung issues, smoking, or emphysema, it may reflect a deep inner belief: I don't deserve to live. They cut themselves off from life, convinced they have no right to exist. Allow yourself to exist fully. The chest is associated with motherhood and nurturing. Problems in this area often reflect excessive worry about others and their situations. When a woman with breast cancer neglects herself and gives everything to others, internal tension and resentment can build up and eventually manifest as illness. Anger and resentment are different. Anger can be loud and open, like a child who screams, but quickly lets go. Adults often stay silent, pushing anger deep into the body. When suppressed for too long, it can lead to serious illnesses, including cancer. Arthritis, for example, is born from criticism and resentment. People with arthritis often judge themselves and others harshly. Fear can affect the entire body, from the top of the head to the tips of the toes, creating a wide range of illnesses. Guilt always seeks punishment, and punishment creates pain. When a person experiences pain, it often means they are dealing with guilt. Chronic pain reflects old beliefs a person may not even be aware of, beliefs rooted in the idea, "I am not good enough to be healthy." We must learn to care for ourselves. The heart symbolizes love, and the blood symbolizes joy. When we fill the heart with love, we help it pump joy through every cell of the body. This is our natural state. When we fill ourselves with joy and love, the heart functions well and health is restored. People who have suffered heart attacks are rarely truly joyful. The problem is not the heart, it is the lack of joy and love we allow ourselves to feel. Some people resemble animated characters from Tokyo, always rushing, always tense, never in harmony with themselves. Louise calls this state tired blood. This kind of blood carries no joy, which can lead to high blood pressure and emotional swings that turn every small issue into a crisis. Low blood pressure, on the other hand, symbolizes a reluctance to rise and take action. The kidneys reflect disappointment, failure, and fear. They are like small children who need care and reassurance. If a child is denied comfort, it becomes a big problem for them. People with kidney issues often turn their problems into tragedies. Those undergoing diagnosis frequently report feeling trapped at home, at work, or in relationships, believing there is no way out and that life has lost its meaning. The liver is the laboratory of the body, performing more than 500 functions and storing primitive emotions. When we feel anger or hatred, these emotions accumulate in the liver and cause problems. Deeply angry people harm their liver because their rage and hatred are ultimately directed at themselves. These emotions must be dissolved in order for healing to begin. The stomach digests not only food but also ideas. When we struggle to digest new ideas, discomfort appears. It's like receiving an annoying phone call. It interrupts us, but once we accept it, the noise gradually fades. People who have been frightened by past experiences often fear absorbing anything new. An ulcer is the belief, "I am not good enough." Fear blocks us and creates new problems. Think of how people reacted to the first airplane flights. Every seat had a vomit bag because the stomach could not digest the idea of flying. Over time, people adapted, and now those bags are rarely needed. The spleen is connected to obsessive thoughts. When we fixate on something, it responds. The intestines are responsible for release, dissolution, and letting go. Constipation literally means we cannot let go of old thoughts or people. It is often tied to an unwillingness to release the past, and sometimes to stinginess. Diarrhea is the opposite. It is pure fear expressed physically. I remember my first public appearance. On the outside I looked calm, but inside I was terrified like a child. The knees, a remarkable part of the body, flexible like the neck, symbolize our ability to bend, forgive, and let go of pride. Knees heal slowly because they are connected to stubbornness and an unwillingness to forgive. If you have knee problems, ask yourself, where am I being stubborn? Whom am I refusing to forgive? The feet symbolize our understanding of ourselves and life, the foundation we stand on. When something is wrong with our inner understanding, it shows up in the feet. Young children are energetic and joyful, but over time many people age, slow down, and shuffle. This reflects how they perceive their life and aging. The skin reflects our individuality. Skin problems arise when we feel our identity is threatened. Often people frighten themselves with their own thoughts, and the skin reacts to this. The genitals, like any other part of the body, have their functions and many nerve endings designed for pleasure. Unfortunately, we often approach them with shame, which can lead to problems. Issues with the genitals are frequently connected to sexual guilt. Nearly all sexually transmitted diseases have roots in guilt. The sexual revolution of the 20th century allowed us to speak openly about sexuality and break Victorian taboos. Yet we still face problems rooted in subconscious beliefs about God and morality. Negative thoughts about oneself and one's sexuality can lead to recurring issues with the genitals. If society or loved ones criticize you, this can intensify the problem, sometimes leading to serious illnesses such as AIDS or cancer. I believe AIDS and cancer have much in common, and the methods of working with them are similar. Releasing sexual guilt is an important step toward healing. Think about the vastness of the universe. It is so immense that the human mind cannot fully grasp it. Even the most advanced scientists with modern equipment cannot measure its size. We do not know whether it is expanding or contracting. Within this boundless universe are countless galaxies. Among them is a small one called the Milky Way, where our sun resides. Around it orbit the planets, one of which is Earth. It is difficult to believe that in such an enormous universe there exists a cosmic intelligence watching every move we make, as if sitting on a cloud and observing our lives. Yet many of us grew up with this idea, especially if we were taught that we are sinful or unworthy. If you feel like a sinner or suffer from guilt, it is time to reevaluate your beliefs. Do inner work to change your perception. Sit in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, and say, I used to believe this, but now I am an adult. I choose to believe something different. Decide what you want to believe and what God means to you. If your religion diminishes you or fills you with guilt, consider choosing another. There are many belief systems, and any of them should support your life. You are not obligated to follow the beliefs your parents or ancestors held if they do not make you happy. Every person is unique and creates their life based on their own beliefs. If old beliefs cause discomfort, ask yourself, is this still true for me now? Perhaps it is time to release old limitations, discard outdated beliefs, and leave them in the past. Live without rigid boundaries, trust the universe, and watch how it works for you. In this infinite universe, everything is perfect, whole, and harmonious. The universe created us and is open to the abundance it offers. Everything we need and desire comes to us, often before we even ask. Good flows to everyone and from everywhere. All is well in our world because that is the nature of life. Friends, subscribe to our channel The Power of the New Me to dive into meditations, discover the secrets of personal growth and transformation, and receive inspiration for your journey of self-development.